It's been a satisfying Tuesday night for the Bucks. They've beaten Darlington 3-1 in National League North this evening, and I'm here with manager Gavin Cowan. Gavin, 3-0 by half-time in that game and in control. I imagine you're happy with that?
Yeah, I was for the first 17, 18 minutes. I was really happy. We were very dominant. We were complete in control of the game. We were almost unplayable, actually. But yeah, after that, for some reason, we just seemed to turn the tap off and stop doing some of the things that were bringing us success, and that word complacency crept in again, which was really disappointing. So, the standards that we've set this year, the players, I keep saying to them that they're against themselves. There's no expectation from them anywhere else other than that changing room. And the only person they've got to impress is me. So it's disappointing that we didn't take that on again. I mean, luckily we put Darlington to the sword tonight, but it was disappointing that we didn't maintain that performance, because it should have been by a much bigger margin tonight.
And that's some of that ruthlessness you've been talking about, isn't it? That's sort of, really taking advantage when you're on top in a game.
Yeah, we're almost inviting them to get back into the game, and that's just again through efficiency and reliability. Sometimes it's not about going above and beyond away from your means. Sometimes it's about doing things that are almost soul destroying for the opposition. I always talk about Brackley, about how good they are at it. They're just absolutely soul destroying. And sometimes you think you're out and you think, oh great, we've got a counter attack, and they'll snub you. They look like their backs against the wall, but then they'll clear the ball and they're out, and it's soul destroying. And that was disappointing that we weren't able to take that on, because we spoke a lot about it after the Boston game. As you saw, we were very in control against Boston. Should have put them to the sword, should have been out of sight by half time, and luckily we were tonight. But again, we come out for the second half, and it's a mirror of the first half. We were unplayable again for 10-15 minutes. I thought we were awesome, but we just couldn't carry it on. And like I just said to the players, you can't turn it on and off like a tap. We want to be successful this year. We're going to have to maintain that, and it's a good learning curve for us. The lads have all taken it on board. They agree. Like I say, we're against ourselves. We've got our own demands of each other. So it's good that the players have taken it on board.
Sure. And Saturday, you were unsure about Saturday's result, weren't sure about whether a point gain, 2 dropped or whatever, and you said that these games, the next 2 games, including tonight, would sort of go some way towards that. Any thoughts about that at the moment? Yeah,
of course. I think I'm still very much along those lines. If we win Saturday, the Boston game becomes a very good draw. But make no mistake, it's going to be a big game. They're a good footballing side. I know Neil Reynolds well. He's a footballing man. He'll take pride in coming here and putting in a good performance, and we're going to have to be at our very best, our absolute very best, to beat them. If we do earn the right and we are good enough to get the 3 points, which I'm sure we're more than capable of doing, it sets us up nicely to put the league to bed for a couple of weeks and then go off and attack what is to come. But ultimately, the biggest game of the season now is against FC United of Manchester, and we've got a huge task to beat them. But it's one that if we fulfil our potential, like I say, I don't want to take anything away from the performance. We were at times superb, but we've got to maintain that for a 90-minute period. And if we do that, then I don't think there's many teams in this league that will live with us.
Sure. Is keeping focused on the league games with those trophy games coming up, is that proving to be difficult? I know you look at the next game, don't you? Not any further ahead, but do you get any sense that the players are looking ahead at all?
No, not at all. We had a debrief after the Solihull game, and I just spoke to the players. I didn't want to hear anything about Leyton Orient. I didn't want to hear about the FA Trophy. That's not our concern. That's not our primary concern at the moment. There'll come a time, and that'll come as soon as the final whistle goes against FC United of Manchester. Our focus will be on the Orient game. So. They leave that to me. I'm the one who's got to be preparing for that. In the meantime, they've got the league to be focusing on, and everything's about FC United of Manchester and nothing else.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for
Cheers,
coming, Gavin.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Top man.
Cheers, mate.